Namaste, everyone. I am here with Sam Geppi, who will be a presenter at our Ayurveda Summer Faire here in Encinitas. Sam, so great to have you.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about what's going on and how you're feeling about what you're going to present for this unique event. We've never done anything like this.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate you inviting me, Mas. It's me, and there'll be Pundit Samavedla, Michael Brian Baker, Wah, and others.
Yep.
And so, again, it's really a great time to connect around the Vedic sciences. Of course, Ayurveda being the main focus, or at least the main, gathering point and interest, because that's your expertise through Dancing Shiva School. And so, of course, you have a reputation of bringing together all these great teachers and healers. I'll count myself among them, at least being one of the teachers and healers. It's so generous of you to do that, but it's so that people can plug into an entire lifestyle and system. And again, not even just with Ayurveda and yoga and astrology, which is the part that I'll be doing. I have written these two books here, and I'll be having also a booth there, so people can get books and also posters and whatnot. But you even bring in Pandit Samavedla, who is a great priest, so people can see the rituals, instead of it just being like something where we get a sort of transactional hit off of it like we do with yoga or with Ayurveda and eating better and whatnot. You're really legendary and in a very positive way for connecting people with the actual culture, with the astrology, which is usually the piece that's overlooked, frankly, not to mention the ritual. You even take people to India, so you deserve a lot of credit for those kinds of things. So to participate in that, I'm going to be explaining to people about this cosmic connection that we have, that we all sort of believe, but we don't know how it works. We're all like, and it's been said forever, like, I'm going to just put it up to the stars or blah, blah. And we say this because we all have this understanding that there's something much bigger that's really governing things, at least much bigger than we're able to sensibly or rationally understand or explain until you learn astrology. Because astrology is actually that science. It's the one that gives you that rational explanation where you can literally see how spirit has descended into form through your karma sensibly, like you actually can map it. It's like amazing. So I'm going to be talking about the specifics of that. I'm going to give a nice overview of really how to align your limited mind and nature with the cosmic mind and nature. And then we're going to also be talking about how to see that every day and how to see it in a lot of the potentials and possibilities that we're living right now, because we're living in some very intense times, especially intense with a lot of personal possibility, and especially for personal growth, especially with the planet Saturn and Jupiter and whatnot. So we'll be mapping that over the next year or so. So just bringing it all together in that way. And I'm really happy to be invited and honored, and people should come for the whole day. Start with the puja. It's not too early. It's a Sunday, so it's not like 8 a.m. or something. So people like to sleep in a little bit, but it's a perfect time. Like, I think it starts at 11, then goes to like 9, right?
Actually, we're going to start about 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's 1. Okay.
1 o'clock with Pandit Samavedula and myself. We're going to do the Ganesha Puja, which so important right now. You brought up a lot of great points, and I want to say something specific to what Sam Geppi is going to share with us, is that, understanding astrology and its importance, as Sam does really special work in helping a person understand it in a very holistic, very organic way. It is a sadhana in itself just to learn this great wisdom and understand the cosmic connection that every human soul has to these grander forces. So learning it in the effort that you're putting to understand and comprehend these concepts in itself is a spiritual discipline. And so Sam specifically noticed that if you look at the schedule, he's really doing the only knowledge base lecture of the whole afternoon. And I've specifically arranged it that way because it is an important time for astrology now. We're in a very pivotal time. Sam's going to talk all about this, how auspicious this time is. And I want you all to understand this because I have been a big proponent of the whole system. I'm not just trying to encourage people to sweat and stretch and do mantra. It's the full package. Sam, what are you feeling about what is going on right now, and what your message to these times and to the relevance that Jyotish plays in the role it plays in helping us through these times?
Well, it's in fact, many who follow my work know that I've been doing updates literally now for almost 20 years of the current astrological weather. And, we're kind of looking at things like these times as being measured by like a couple of years ago when we came with COVID and things got really serious and intense around that. And I said at the time that we were going to have at least a couple of years where there's huge adjustments. And it's because of a simple astrological shift when the planet Saturn went into Capricorn. Again, that Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn and brings this reckoning, this reckoning with how much we're putting into practice what we believe. Because Capricorn and Saturn are all about this application. You can say, oh, I believe in this and I have this religion or these ideas, but then what are you eating? What time do you get up? What are you really committed to? Because eventually that's going to show up as the application of your knowledge. So again, personally and collectively, we've seen that in the last couple of years with the sustainable systems that we think we can just keep taking from the planet and it's never going to catch up to us. Look at the global warming, things like this. There's that aspect of it. But cleaning up those things, but then in a personal sense, to really get serious, and the rare opportunity like we've never seen to get serious about your sadhana, your spiritual practices, the things like you just said. And also the planet Jupiter for these last couple of years as well has been going back and forth with Saturn, but now he's in the sign of Pisces, which is a sign that he rules. And again, it's another just amazing period of time to mainly focus on surrender, the surrender aspect, surrendering of the ego, and that illusion of the limited self toward that more cosmic self. It's easier now than it's going to be for the next 12 years, because it's once every 12 years. And the next time it's not going to be with Saturn also in Capricorn, making it real. So it's actually like a once in a 60-year shift right now. Jupiter and Saturn will return to the same place every 60 years. So again, it's very auspicious for these things that are very often hard for us to do when we want to grow and rise up. And the last thing I just want to say is what you mentioned, Moss, is the most important thing. Vedic astrology, to me, is something that we all should know. It doesn't mean we all have to be astrologers, but the reason I have a lot of people in my certification courses isn't because they all want to become astrologers necessarily, although you could certainly do it. They want to know the knowledge. They want the knowledge. They want to understand. And I will tell you, as I always say to my students or to anyone who wants to listen, you can do the yoga and the Ayurveda and be happier and healthier and more aligned. And you're still going to want to know why and how it all works. Your mind never stops wanting to know. This is why, in many ways, Jyotish Vedic astrology is the science that everyone is really sort of curious about, because we all want to know, okay, I get it, I believe it, I can feel more peaceful, but who am I? Who am I beyond all of this? Like, how does all of this work? How did my soul come out of that unembodied state of equilibrium into this person who has this appetite and this weight and these ideas. And that's what Vedic astrology is. It shows that the specifics of that.
Yeah, yeah, it is a great map, if you will. And it really increases our capacity to have understanding, right? And a sense of why and how all of this exists. And
it was called the light of the Vedas. This is why it's called Jyotish. And you think of how important it is to have the light on. I mean, turn off the light, have the sun go down, and how much can you see? And this is what we're trying to do. We're all trying to find our way in the dark. Literally, that's what we're trying to do, even when the lights are on. And Jyotish is that light in the darkness that allows you to also understand, because otherwise we're going to have these ideas and these beliefs. Look at the world. And not one of the biggest problems is that everyone thinks they really understand what's going on, but they really don't. That's what Jyotish really can give. That's what it was meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great, on that note, the light, Sam's going to shed wonderful light on how to integrate Jyotish into our current period, this time. And I think this fair really lines up with that. We're in the summer, right?
Yeah.
We've got that the sun very high in the sky. It tends to bring us out. It's a time for us to come together as a community. It wasn't long ago that we were all, in a way, shuttered away from each other. And this is a really unique opportunity. And we want to encourage you all, as Sam brought up earlier, it's a whole experience, and we want everyone there for the afternoon, even though we are offering the individual sessions. We obviously don't want to lose anyone from experiencing at least a portion of it, but ultimately the way it's being structured, the schedule is so that you go through each of these classes and it builds. And then you have our courtyard filled with wonderful healers. We've got vendors that are bringing in products, food, vegan and vegetarian foods, all types of lifestyle support aspects that will be there to bring us together and just to connect, a nice afternoon to connect. So Sam's here in the San Diego area. Even if you're not, and you're coming from LA or other areas, we've got a full day for you, and Wal's gonna bring us all together at the end of the evening there with kirtan and music and meditation. And so any last words, Sam?
No, just as I say, I'm really honored to be there. I'll be speaking after the puja, after Pandit Samaveda, which is a really great time to be doing it, because again, that brings the energy down. And then the astrology, we're going to be linking that up with each person, and then some wonderful speakers afterward and some great classes and whatnot. So I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we encourage everyone to bring a friend, come with your family. It's for everybody. This is not just for yogis. This is not just for meditators. There is something here for everyone to enjoy. You can buy the tickets on the Soul of Yoga website. There's information as well on the dancingshiva.com website.
It's also a beautiful space. Sorry to interrupt.
Beautiful space, yeah. Yeah, and it's here in the Encinitas, Rancho Santa Fe area. And so help us spread the word. We appreciate it. And let's come together and experience the power of Sangha. Namaste and Jai to Sam.
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.